Less body fat, more muscle, and more energy. That's what you're going to achieve over the next 30 days with my 30-day Dad Bod Challenge. This was created for men 35 and older who are tired of gaining weight every single year, feeling too tired to do anything productive after work every day, and have no energy to play with their kids even for just a few minutes at a time, and need a system and accountability to finally get their health and fitness goals back on track. My name is Brandon Lewis, and I've been a personal trainer for over 12 years, helping guys just like you to lose fat, build muscle, get stronger, be healthier, have more energy, and be more confident in their bodies. Just like you, I felt the effects of getting older, feeling like you have less energy, feeling like you can't do the things physically that you used to be able to do in your 20s. I have figured out a system that guarantees that you can reach any fitness goal that you have, and that's what I'm going to teach you today. Just like you, I have kids, I have work, I have stress, I have family life that takes away from me putting in time for myself. So if I can do this and other clients can do this, you can do it too. I'm going to show you how. When you use this system, there is no excuse that can stop you from here on out. And the best part is, I'm going to teach you all this here today for free. So if you're in your late 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond, and you're ready to commit at least 30 days to going all in to improving your health and fitness, then you're in the right place. The challenge is going to be doing exactly what I lay out for you here over the next 30 days. If you can do this, you're going to be a lot closer to your fitness goal than you were before you started this challenge. I can guarantee that. Let's get into it. The first thing we're going to do is set our goal weight. Most people decide to work out because they aren't the weight that they want to be. For most guys, it's because you're overweight. Your body weight is one of the most obvious signs on whether you're taking care of yourself or not. If you're heavier than you want to be, it's a sign that you're not eating properly and you're not working out and taking care of your body. So we're going to set our goal weight to be something that is going to get us back to the healthy category and back to having the physique that you want to have. When you set this body weight, I don't want you to get emotional about it. The weight is just a number, and it's a number that we can change. If you get sad and feel like you can't do anything about it, that's going to be true for you. But if you take charge and think I can control this, you are going to be able to make that change. A big part of reaching your fitness goal is having one to begin with and knowing what you're actually trying to achieve. Wanting to lose fat is not a goal. Wanting to get a shape is not a goal. Wanting to be muscular is not a goal. Those are all wishes, not goals. You cannot reach a fitness goal if you don't have one. And that's a big mistake that a lot of guys like you make. When they get started, they just think they're going to work out and some results are going to start happening. You don't know if the results are going to happen because you don't have a goal in mind. A goal is a target that you can measure and something that you're going to put a time frame to so you know when you want to achieve that goal. Once you have that, you can work backwards so you know what small incremental goals you need to hit along the way to get you to your bigger goal. When most guys start working out, they just hope that something is going to change on their body. They get discouraged and they quit because they have not properly set a good goal. So that's what we're going to start with first, setting a good, proper goal. And I want you to pick a certain body weight that you want to be in the next 30 days. So right now, we're going to set you up with a fitness goal. If this is your first time doing this may be tough at first, but I'm going to walk you through it. We're going to pick a smart goal that makes sense for your lifestyle and how your current situation is set up as far as what you're doing outside of the gym and outside of the kitchen. If we aim too high with your goal, you're going to get discouraged because you're going to feel like you can never reach that within the time frame that you set. If we aim too low, you're also not going to love that either because you don't have to change your lifestyle to hit a goal that is set too low. We want to be right in that middle point where you actually have to do something and change your life, but it is something you can actually reach. For example, a goal that is set too high would be something like losing 20 pounds in 30 days. If you starve yourself, technically you probably could, but that's not sustainable long term, so that's going to be a terrible goal. We're not going to do that. Something that would be a terrible goal that is set too low. Let's say you only want to lose 1 pound over the next 30 days. You don't really need to change your life to do that. So we want something that's going to be smart, but it also makes sense for your lifestyle. Okay, let's get into it. So you're going to be one of 3 different types of people. Let's see which one you are. Person number 1, you're single, you have 1 job, and you have no kids. This person is probably going to be able to make the biggest amount of change in the shortest amount of time frame because they only have to worry about themselves. This person has a lot of downtime in their day after work to do everything that they need to do. They can spend hours at the gym if they want because they have no one that is relying on them outside of it. If this is you, this is what I want you to do. For a weight loss goal, I want you to aim to lose 0.5% to 1% of your body weight every single week. This is how that breaks down. A 300-pound man will set a goal of losing 1.5 pounds to 3 pounds per week and 6 pounds to 12 pounds per month. A 250-pound man will set a goal of losing 1.25 pounds to 2.5 pounds per week and 5 pounds to 10 pounds per month. And a 200-pound man will set a goal of losing 1 to 2 pounds per week or 4 to 8 pounds per month. Now keep in mind that as you lose weight, those targets are going to change. So let's say you're 300 pounds. If you lose 25 pounds, you shouldn't still be aiming to lose the type of weight that you lost when you were 300 pounds. Your numbers are going to change, so make sure your targets change for your goals. Person number 2, you're either in a relationship or married, you have 0 or 1 kid, and you have 1 full-time job and possibly a part-time job. This person has a little bit more responsibility, so they have less time in their day to meal prep and work out. For this person, you still want to be fairly aggressive with your goals because you don't have that much going on that you cannot achieve fitness goals. You won't be able to make progress as quickly as someone that doesn't have a family, but you still have plenty of time to get everything you need done. What you must do though is prioritize your responsibilities and schedule out everything that's in your day. For example, you want to schedule when you're going to meal prep. You want to schedule when you're going to work out. And this can be revolved around the extracurricular activities that you have going on, but this is something that needs to be on paper or in your calendar that, hey, at this time, I'm going to do this workout. At this time, I'm going to meal prep. If you fail to do that, you probably will forget because you have other things pulling you away. As far as a weight loss goal, this person should aim to lose 0.25 to 0.75% of their body weight every single week. Here are some examples of how that math works out. A 325-pound man will have a goal of losing 0.8 to 2.4 pounds per week and 3.2 to 9.6 pounds per month. A 275-pound man will have a goal of losing 0.7 to 2.1 pounds per week and 2.8 to 8.4 pounds per month. And a 225-pound man will have a goal of losing 0.6 to 1.7 pounds per week and 2.4 to 6.8 pounds per month. Obviously, this is something that is just a range. These are not exact numbers, but this is something that you can realistically expect to achieve if you are this type of person. And the last type of person you may be is person number 3. You're married, you have multiple kids, and you have multiple jobs and extracurricular activities that constantly pull you away from work. Even when you are not expecting them, you have random things that pop up that fill up your schedule. This person may also have medical issues or different mental health battles that they face every single year. This person is in a tough spot when it comes to trying to improve their health, get a better physique, have more energy, lose body fat, and do everything that most of you guys are probably trying to do. But just because you're in a tough spot, it doesn't mean it is impossible. If you're this type of person, you're going to have to get very, very, very small wins and stack them up on a daily and weekly basis so that you build momentum, that you know that you can do this. It is going to require that you think differently about how your day is structured and think differently about how your day affects you. This type of person normally puts themselves last. Now you're going to have to put yourself first. And that is a drastically different way of looking at things. For example, with your job, you're probably a type of person that is in management or above, or you're someone that works at a factory and you work very long hours, work doubles, work 12-hour shifts, 10-hour shifts. You have to take care of yourself. I want you to think about it like this. If you were to pass away, who would take care of your family? Who will replace you at your job? How long would it take for them to replace you at your job? Your job will replace you quickly, and no one will be there for your family, at least for a while. You need to take care of yourself so you can be there for your family, and you're going to perform better at work if you have more energy. So you need to prioritize yourself. As far as your kids and taking your kids to different events, if you take them there, but you're tired and falling asleep, what type of relationship is that going to build versus if you have the energy to participate with your kids when they're doing activities or being there and being more present? You have to prioritize yourself. When it comes to your spouse, are you going to be the best version of yourself if you are unhealthy, overweight, lacking confidence in the bedroom, or are you going to feel better if you are at a healthy weight, plenty of energy, a lot of muscle, less body fat, feeling better about yourself? Which version of yourself is going to be better for your spouse? This is how you need to think. Yes, it is tough, and you're not going to make all the changes at once, but you can make a change. This person is going to have to maximize their time to be as efficient as possible with every aspect of fitness and health. Since we already know that your day-to-day life is unpredictable, we can plan for that unpredictability so that even in the worst case scenario, you're still making progress. For a weight loss goal, I want this person to lose 0.25 to 0.5% of body weight every single week. Here are some examples of how that math works out. A 300-pound man will lose 0.75 to 1.5 pounds per week and 3 to 6 pounds per month. A 275-pound man will lose 0.69 to 1.38 pounds per week and 2.77 to 5.52 pounds per month. A 250-pound man will lose 0.63 to 1.25 pounds per week and 2.52 to 5 pounds per month. These are very achievable goals, no matter how busy your schedule is and how unpredictable they are. But you will have to be consistent. So which person sounds more like you? That is how I want you to structure your goal. So right now, I want you to write down your goal in your phone or on a piece of paper and put it somewhere you're going to see it often. Think about what your weekly goal is going to be to lose weight and what your monthly goal is going to be. Some weeks are going to be higher, some weeks are going to be lower. But on average, those are the numbers I want you to expect to hit. It does not matter what your life circumstances are. There are some things that are within your control. You can control what you put into your mouth. You can control getting up and moving your body. You can control putting your phone down and trying to go to sleep earlier. These are the type of things that you're going to do. And now that you have a goal weight in mind, you're going to have a target that you're going to reach and you know if you're getting closer or not. Your assignments for this lesson are to get your current body weight. I want you to do this in the morning after you use the bathroom and before you eat or drink anything. Preferably do this with minimal clothing so that you're not getting the weight of your clothes with that reading. Take your weight, and I want you to do that every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can use the average of those numbers to get a more accurate representation of what your body weight currently is. Don't get too happy or too sad about a single measurement. You want to look at groups of measurement and seeing what the trend is. You're going to set your goal weight for the next 30 days, the next 60 days, and the next 90 days. This way we can work backwards to make sure you're on track for the long haul, and this is exactly how you're going to treat every single goal that you have. Now we need to assess your current body composition. Now that you have some good body weight goals picked out, we want to also address your body fat. But first we need to know where you are currently. You can use various methods such as the skin fold calipers, bioelectrical impedance analysis, or BIA. Those are the handheld scanners that you see at some gyms. Or if you have access to it, you can use a DEXA scan. Those are going to be the most accurate, but also the most expensive. Skin fold calipers will measure the thickness of your fat at a bunch of different points of the body. BIA uses small electrical impulses to send a signal back to the machine, and that determines how much body fat you have. And the DEXA scan does a full X-ray scan of your body, and that's again going to be the most accurate. And even if you have a scale that tells you your body fat percent, you can use that as well. You can also use a visual chart to take a picture of your body and see where you compare on that chart. That won't be super accurate, but it is better than not knowing anything at all. Once you have an idea what your body fat is, I want you to think about where you want your body fat to be. Now, keep in mind, you have to live the lifestyle of what that body fat brings. But I do want you to have some idea of what you're trying to achieve with your actual physique and how you look. This is very important with setting goals, so you have more than one way of judging progress besides just the scale. Another great way of judging your own body fat progress is to take progress photos of yourself. You want to do this in good lighting. For most people, your bathroom lighting is going to be fine. You want to do this just like your body weight, whereas in the morning, after using the bathroom, and before you eat or drink anything. Try to have the camera angle set up the same every single time, ideally about chest height. If you do that low angle, it's not going to be as accurate. And if you do a very high angle, angling down, it's not going to be as accurate. You want to be dead on about eye level, chest level, something in that range. And over time, you can check your progress photos from the past and see if you notice differences within yourself. That's what's most important. Regardless of what a number tells you, you can visually see, do I look like I'm leaner? Do I look like I'm losing fat? Just something to note is that your genetics play a huge part of how you're going to hold your fat. So just because someone else is at 20% body fat and looks lean, you may have to get to 15% body fat to look lean. Where you hold your fat can be different. So try to track it based on what you see on yourself. If you see your love handles getting smaller, even though the number on the scale didn't change, this is a good thing because you're losing body fat where you want to lose it. For those progress photos, I want you to take a front-facing photo. I want you to take a side profile photo. If you want to see the progress of your stomach, you're going to want to have your hands straight out and arms straight out in front of you. And I also want you to take a back-facing photo. This way you can see all sides of yourself to be able to make a proper judgment on if you're getting progress or not. Save your body fat measurements and your progress photos, and I want you to update them at least once every month, but preferably every other week. You're going to take more photos. Your assignment for this lesson is to get your initial body fat measurements and also get your initial progress photos, front-facing, side-facing, and a photo of the back. Okay, now let's understand what a dad bod actually is. From my perspective, a dad bod is just someone that used to be in shape, but has not taken care of their health in many years. So if you are out of shape, you're not consistently working out, and you're not really caring about what you eat, you probably have a dad bod, but the fix for it is always the same. Less body fat, more muscle, and more energy will come from training consistently, eating healthy foods, and doing it for long enough. Most men tend to reach that dad bod physique after they have kids, but that's not necessarily always the case. If you have a lot of things pulling you away from thinking about yourself and taking care of your health, it is very easy to fall into the habits that lead you to a dad bod. It doesn't take anything drastic, but even gaining 5 pounds a year, which is not that much when you really think about it, you do that for enough years, you're going to be out of shape, you're going to have a dad bod, you're going to have that huge belly, and you're not going to love the way that you feel and the way that you look. Yes, it's going to be tougher now than compared to when you were younger, but you can control certain factors, and we're going to figure out what those are in this 30 days, and I can guarantee that you're going to be way closer to the physique that you want to have. Over the next 30 days, I'm trying to get you to change your identity of thinking of yourself as having a dad bod, thinking of yourself as being lazy, thinking of yourself as not having time, not being able to do anything to take care of your health and fitness. We're trying to change that identity completely. You're going to be someone who takes charge and takes the lead on taking care of themselves. And you're going to set a good example for the people that look up to you. Your assignment for this lesson is I want you to tell at least one other person that you're about to partake on 30 days of taking care of yourself and prioritizing yourself. This can be your spouse, this can be a sibling, this can be a parent, this can be one of your kids. Someone that is very important to you needs to know that you're going on this journey. This can only help when they see that stuff is getting tough for you, or when you're not doing the things that you normally used to do. People are going to wonder why you aren't eating the things that you used to eat. Why are you eating something different? Why are you going to the gym all of a sudden? Tell them you're trying to take care of yourself. You're doing this for you, but it's also going to benefit them. Let them know. Tell at least one other person. The next step on your journey in the 30-Day Dad Bod Challenge is creating a realistic timeline. Do you want to get discouraged and quit on your goals? No, of course not. So we're not going to set an unrealistic goal that you can't reach, because that's exactly what will happen. Every person's timeline to reach their goal is completely different than another person. They have different circumstances going on with their life and different responsibilities. So someone else's goal and how quickly they reach something is completely different than you. You might be able to reach a goal faster than other people, and vice versa. You got a bunch of different factors that affect how fast you can reach a goal, like genetics, nutrition, training intensity, injury history, medical condition, stress level, sleep, work schedule, alcohol or drug addictions, knowledge base, consistency, supportive training environment, spousal and family support, and many other reasons I can go on about, but you get the point. Your life is completely different than someone else's, so you have to set the goal and the timeline that makes sense for you. Your assignment for this lesson is you're going to set a timeline from when you're going to reach your goals and have that make sense for your schedule. Think about everything you have going on and think about how much you're going to work out, how you're going to eat. What is a realistic time frame that you think you should reach that? Now we're going to get to the daily checklist that you need to hit in order to reach your goals. There are 6 things that I want you to do every single day while you're doing this 30-Day Dad Bod Challenge. Number 1 is walk 8 to 10,000 steps every single day. Number 2 is eat at least 2 servings of fruits and vegetables every single day. Number 3, I want you to go to bed at least 30 minutes earlier than what you would normally do on a normal day throughout this whole challenge. That's not 30 minutes more every single day, but let's say you go to bed normally at 11:30 p.m. For the whole challenge, I want you in bed by 11 p.m. for every single day of that whole challenge. We're trying to get you to sleep more and pay more attention to your recovery. That's going to come from you putting your phone down and going to bed. Number 4, I want you to drink a minimum of 100 ounces of water every single day. Yes, 100 ounces of water every single day without fail. If you aren't sure how much you're drinking, start to track it, but get that number to 100 ounces every single day. Number 5 is you're going to track your food before you eat it. If you have already eaten the food and then you track, it's too late. The food's already in there. So it is very important to track it before you eat. We're going to do that every single day for 30 days. And number 6, you're going to have a maximum of 2 alcoholic drinks per week. If this is tough for you, you may have other help that you need to get outside of this program. Alcohol does not make reaching your fitness goals any easier. And it's something that is controllable and something we can remove. So maximum of 2 alcoholic drinks per week. An alcoholic drink is a shot, a beer, a mixed drink, 2 per week at the most. Ideally, you will have none for 30 days. Doing all these will be tough at first, but I have faith in you that you can pull this off for 30 days in a row. If you are prioritizing your health like you say you are, you can do all of these things for 30 days in a row. Your assignment for this lesson, starting today, you're going to go to bed 30 minutes earlier than normal. Starting tomorrow, you're going to do all 6 things on the list and do that for the rest of the 30-day challenge. Now we need to calculate your calorie intake and your macro needs. If you want to get to a certain body weight, you're going to need to know how many calories you need to eat to reach that body weight. I don't know about you, but when I want to change my weight, I want guaranteed success. And that comes from tracking. When I train people, they're paying me money, so I want them to have guaranteed success. So I have them track their food. So that's going to be no different for you. You're going to track your food because we're going to know exactly how many calories you need to eat to get closer to your goal. There's going to be no guesswork here. You're going to know how much weight you're going to lose within a month because you're tracking it. Now, you can use a calculator online to get your basal metabolic rate, also known as BMR, and that can give you a rough estimate of how many calories you're burning per day, meaning you know how many calories you need to eat to stay the same weight. Even though it is just an estimate, it is way better than having no idea of how much you need to eat to gain or lose weight. Based on that number, you will know after tracking every single day, or at least every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, if your weight is going up, you are eating higher than what you need to stay your same weight. If your weight's going down, you are eating less than what you need to stay the same weight. This is known as a calorie surplus or a calorie deficit. If you're trying to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. So every time you weigh yourself multiple times in a row, if you are not losing weight, you are eating too much. You need to accept that as a fact. And based on that, it's time to drop those calories down. And that's going to be your new calorie target that you're trying to reach. As far as your macros go, for your protein, if you want to be maintaining a certain amount of muscle mass or even gaining muscle mass while you lose weight, you need to eat enough protein. I like to tell people to aim for 1 gram per pound of the body weight that you are trying to be. Not your current weight, but the weight you are trying to be. For example, if you are 250 pounds and you are trying to get to 180 pounds, I want you to aim to eat 180 grams of protein every single day. Of course, some days will be higher, some days will be lower. But on average, I want you around that number. That's going to make sure you're feeling full for things that are not super high in calories. So your calorie totals will be lower, but you also will be full. For your carbs, you want to eat enough carbs that's going to give you energy. If you're someone that loves carbs, you can have very high percentage of carbs in addition to your protein and low fats. Vice versa, if you're someone that loves high fat content and doesn't really care about carbs, it's okay to have high fat content and low carbs as long as your calorie totals are within what you're trying to achieve. You don't want to overeat calories because you really like eating high fat foods. So make sure you track and stay on top of that. It's easy to overeat high fat foods because there are more calories in a gram of fat compared to a gram of protein and a gram of carbs. So just keep that in mind. Your assignment for this lesson is you're going to calculate how many calories you need to be at maintenance, meaning staying the same weight. And you're also going to figure out how much protein you're trying to eat and if you want to be higher on carbs or higher on fats with your diet. Once you have that number as far as your calories, then you're going to set a range of 100 to 200 calories higher and lower. You're not going to hit the same amount of calories every single day. That's impossible. So you're going to stay within a range. If you go above or below your calorie range by 1 to 200 every single day, you're probably going to be fine. And that gives you a little bit of leeway. So on the weekends, or if you have date night, you can overeat a little bit, but then the other days of the week, you can undereat a little bit, and it all evens out by the end of the week. Now that you have calculated how many calories and what your macros are going to be, you need to track it. This is going to be the biggest thing you can do to guarantee your success. You have to track. It is so simple, but so overlooked by so many people that struggle to have consistent progress. If you've ever lost weight and gained it right back, I can guarantee you were not tracking food the whole time. You may have done it initially, but you stopped. If you track, you have visual proof that you are overeating, and you can quit that right away. Don't complain that you aren't seeing results if you aren't doing one of the most basic and simple things to do to guarantee your progress. In today's day and age, tracking has never been easier, so I'm going to cover a couple apps that you can use that can help you track. My personal current favorite app to use right now is called Macro Factor. This is an app that you can use AI capabilities. If you just want to take a picture of what you're eating, you can log it manually by just describing what you're eating. You can scan all the barcodes of any foods that come with barcodes, and you can just search for it in their database. This is something that you can use to track your weight, and it will also, every single week, adjust your calorie totals for you, so you don't have to do the heavy lifting with that. This is something that I personally use. I love it, and I recommend it to any client. Now, this is a paid app, so if you don't want to pay money for something like this, you can also use something like MyFitnessPal. That could be 100% for free. It does require a little bit of extra work, but it is something you can use for free, and you can still track and get great progress with that. The best part of using these apps to track is if you save enough meals into the database, or if you have a paid app, you could track a whole day's worth of food in under 60 seconds. It can literally be that quick to track everything that you're going to eat, so you know what your calorie totals are going to be, and you can know ahead of time if you need to make changes to stay on track with your goal. This is something you can do while you're on the toilet in the bathroom. It is that simple. There is no reason that you should not be able to track. Your assignment for this lesson is you're going to download the Macro Factor app or the MyFitnessPal app if you want a free version, and you're going to start logging your food. This also includes any drinks that contain calories. So if you're drinking juice, if you're drinking full sugar pop, if you're drinking shakes, you want to track all that. Anything that you are intaking calories, that all counts. This includes things like butter, oils that you're cooking with. This is also stuff you want to track. That counts as well. Now, if you have 2 consecutive weigh-ins where you're not going the direction that you want to go with your body weight, you want to reduce your calorie intake by 100 to 200 calories. Do that for a couple more weigh-ins and see what happens with your weight. If you still don't lose weight, you reduce it again by 100 to 200. But eventually you will get to a low enough calorie intake that you will start to lose weight consistently. Now we move on to pre and post-workout nutrition. Your pre and post-workout nutrition is going to help you get results faster. Before you work out, you want to eat enough food so that you have energy, but not so much food that you feel full and sluggish during the workout. The focus should be on quick digesting starchy carbs like rice cakes, or carb sources that are fruit, like an apple. That's slow digesting, and that's going to help give you energy quickly at the start of the workout, but also more sustained energy. Now, you also want to eat a protein source, something that is small, so again, you're not too full, but eating that protein source before the workout can help just ensure that you're getting enough protein in for the day. Post-workout, I want you to also have more protein and more carbs. This can be something super quick, like a protein shake and a piece of fruit, or you can have more of a standard sit-down meal like chicken and rice. You want that protein, again, so that you can maintain your muscle mass and eat enough protein for the day. And you want the carbs to help get it through the bloodstream, but also give you energy after your workout. Ideally, I would love for you to have 3 to 5 different pre- and post-workout meals that you can put together so you don't get bored of eating the same thing. But have a nice rotation that you could buy. So if you see something on sale that fits within your pre- and post-workout meals, you want to buy it. But keep that rotation, and that's going to be great long term so you can always have energy for your workout and recover after your workout. So your assignment for this lesson is to create a list of snacks and meals that you can have before and after a workout, and think about how that will fit into your schedule. If you are on the road or away from a microwave, you want to keep that in mind with your meals. If you have more time at home or you can make bigger meals, keep that in mind. Make it make sense for you, not based on something that someone else does. Make it make sense for you. Now let's go into supplementation for your 30-day Dad Bod Challenge. Supplementation is very helpful after you have done all the basics to help you maximize your potential. You must first prioritize your training, your recovery, and your nutrition. Think of supplements as the cherry on top and not the whole dessert. These are the supplements that I personally take and then I recommend to others. The first one is going to be whey protein powder or whey protein shakes. Ideally, I would want you to get the isolate variation. That's a little bit higher quality, but this is a cheap way to make sure you always have protein readily available. You can have shakes that are just pre-made, or you can make your own. This is something that can store in any type of weather, so you can bring it with you on long car rides. If you are on the road a lot, this is a great way to make sure you're hitting your protein goals and keep you from overeating or going to a fast food restaurant. Just have a shake. Any gas station is going to have protein shakes, so it makes it a great option. You can add it to other foods, like add it to your oatmeal, or make stuff like protein pudding by adding whey protein to some Greek yogurt. Plenty of different options you can do, but whey protein powder should be one of the first things you should buy if you have the budget to get supplements. The next thing you want to try to get is creatine. Creatine powder is something that is flavorless. You can add it to water. You can drink it any time of the day, but it's something that's going to help you to be able to build more muscle and get stronger. It's one of the most studied supplements out there, so it's very safe to use, and it's something that just flat out works. Make sure you drink enough water and a little bit more water than normal when you're on creatine, but add it to your routine as soon as you can. Fish oil is another great supplement to take daily. If you do not eat a lot of fish, you may be lacking in that department, so having that supplement can be something that can help keep your joints and bones healthy and strong as you age. Magnesium is another supplement that could potentially be helpful. One of the biggest effects you feel is better quality sleep. Now, get blood panel work to see if you even need magnesium. But if you are low and you add that to your routine, this is something that can help your health out a lot. Next thing is pre-workout or caffeinated drinks. You want to use these very sparingly. If you are always using caffeinated drinks or energy drinks pre-workout, you're not going to see the same effects. You're going to start to get addicted to it, and when you take it, it's going to be more of a mental change that happens instead of a physical response that you get. It's something that you will start to think that you need to perform better. So now when you don't take it, you will actually perform worse. It's a little bit of a placebo, but if you are exhausted and you have a tough workout coming up and you do not routinely take energy drinks, it's something that you can do to help you try to push harder. Again, if you're taking this drink and you don't feel anything, you might want to bag off for a couple months so you can stay sensitive to it. So when you actually really need it and you drink it, you will feel those effects. The last supplement that could be helpful is essential amino acids, EAAs. This is something that can help give you sustained energy when you're doing super long duration workouts or cardio, or if you're doing something that you're working out in very hot weather where you're sweating a lot. This is something that can help keep your energy more sustained and up higher. You can also simply just have something like a sugar-free Gatorade, and it can have similar effects as well for much cheaper. Your assignment for this lesson is to think about the supplements that could help your routine most immediately. If you have the budget for it, the priorities should be whey protein powder and creatine. For this next section, we're going to talk about grocery shopping. What you buy in a store is going to determine whether you gain fat or lose fat. First, I have to say that I am not a registered dietitian. So all the advice that I give for food, these are just general recommendations. If you have any special dietary restrictions, you need to follow that. If you have food allergies or food insensitivities, I want you to follow what your doctor has recommended. I'm going to give you things that generally work for most people to have them building muscle and losing fat while having a lower calorie diet. So if you have chronic health problems and you're supposed to follow a specific diet, if you have any religious things going on where you can or can't eat certain foods, follow that. Make your own swaps. I'm just giving you what works for me, what has worked for other clients, and what has worked for most people that are trying to do what you're trying to do. All right, let's get into it. The biggest thing we're going to prioritize is going to be your protein intake. This is where I want you to spend the majority of your grocery shopping budget is on the protein. Focus on items like salmon, ground turkey or beef, chicken, eggs, cottage cheese, tuna, lentils, and whey protein. Eating these options gives you relatively high protein in relation to the calorie totals. And that's perfect for trying to lose body fat and build muscle. For fat sources, I want you focusing on things like avocados, olive oil, salmon, and chia seeds. These are options that can be paired with your protein sources, so it is okay if they're a little bit higher in calories. As long as you're not overdoing it, it's going to be just fine. It's going to keep you feeling full. It's going to make the food taste better, which makes you more likely to want to stick with it. Carb sources can be things like rice, potatoes, oatmeal, bagels, and quinoa. I want you to get carb sources that you like and try to keep them as close to their natural form as possible without any add-ons. For example, someone could buy oatmeal that is unflavored and just regular rolled oats. That is going to be very low calories and very high in fiber. Great for trying to lose weight and trying to be healthier. Someone could also buy oatmeal thinking, I'm just going to get a carb source, but it is pre-flavored and a cinnamon apple flavor. It is high in calories and high in added sugar. That is not going to be something that's going to be great for trying to lose body fat and build muscle. So make sure your carb sources are close to their natural state. Another example, for potatoes, you can get regular russet potatoes, add salt and pepper. Very hard to overeat carbs when they're done in that way. Or you can get a loaded potato and add in sour cream, cheese, bacon, and all this other stuff. Very high in calories, very easy to overeat. So get carb sources. Definitely keep carbs in your routine. You need them for energy, but make sure they are the most natural form of that carb source. Next up is fruits and vegetables. I want you to load up on fruits and vegetables. Try to have as many variations as you enjoy, but make sure that you're not getting so much that it's going to spoil. So if you need to, you can get frozen variations. That is perfectly fine. They have the same nutritional value as fresh, but try to mix it up every single week so you don't get bored of it. Think about stuff you can add into different types of meals and different types of snacks you can bring, and get as many fruits and vegetables as you want. The more fruits and vegetables you eat, the fuller you're going to feel for lower calories. So load up. The final thing I want you to focus on is what you're going to drink. Yes, I want you to drink a lot of water, but I understand that sometimes you want something with flavor. So if you are a pop drinker, I want you to swap out all full sugar pops for diet versions of that. That's going to be 0 calories, 0 sugar. If you drink one and you want another one, it's going to be perfectly fine for you to do that. You can have multiple a day because it is 0 calories. It is something that is perfectly in place to help you fulfill your cravings and get that little bit of sweet tooth out without adding calories to your day. I want you to also get things like sugar-free Gatorades, flavor packets that you can add to water. You want to think about, what am I going to drink when I'm craving something? Because it will happen and you're going to be prepared. And this is how I want you to grocery shop. It's all about preparation. The last thing is, I recommend having a set dollar amount of what you're going to spend when you're at the grocery store. Not only is this going to help you save money, but also it'll help you to not overspend in getting impulse buys. When you go grocery shopping, especially if you're hungry, you might see something that looks delicious and you just add it to the cart. But if you stick to your grocery list and you stick to a tight budget, you're not going to do that, or you'll at least be less likely to do that, which can save you a lot of calories over the course of a week. Your assignment for this lesson is going to be create your own grocery shopping list. Ideally, I would love for you to use what you're going to meal prep with and have that be your grocery shopping list. So use as much detail as possible so you know what groceries you need to buy. But create your own grocery shopping list and plan it out for 7 days worth of food. Think about how many times you're going to eat per week, how many meals that is, and buy enough food so you can eat from home all 7 days. Let's now go into how to meal prep. Now that you have all your groceries planned out for the week, you're going to need to prepare those meals. I am not a chef, so feel free to look up quick cooking videos on TikTok or more longer duration videos on YouTube so you can have ideas of things that you can make. I don't care what your experience level is in the kitchen, but there are very small things that you should be able to do for yourself as far as making food. I don't want your health and fitness to be completely reliant on another human being because you're waiting for them to make you food. You should know how to make very basic things in the kitchen. So this is what you're going to try to do over this 30 days. No matter what your current experience level is in the kitchen, you should know how to make very basic things for yourself. I don't want you to be reliant on another human being and blaming someone else because you're eating the food that they made for you. You have to be in charge of your own health. You need to know how to make foods that's going to get you to your goal. From now on, you're eliminating that excuse of not knowing how to cook. You can't use that anymore because you're going to learn today. Refusing to meal prep is refusing to make progress. That's how you have to look at it. Some items that can make meal prepping easier for you is getting an air fryer, getting a rice cooker, and having some food storage containers so you can package all your stuff up. Make sure you have all these ASAP. Your assignment for this lesson: I want you to find 5 to 8 different meal preps that you feel confident you can do. Again, you can use TikTok, YouTube, you can look online, anywhere. But you want 5 to 8 different recipes that you know you can whip up. This could be quick, this could be long. I want you to have a bunch of variations. From there, you're going to cycle between those meals for lunch and dinner, breakfast, snacks, it doesn't matter. But just cycling through those meals, 5 to 8. That's going to last you for 30 days where you won't get bored. Let's talk about designing this 30-day Dad Bod Challenge program. To create a program that's going to help many guys that are 35 and older to have less body fat, more muscle, more energy, and feel more confident in their bodies, we're going to be focusing on compound movements. Compound movements are things that work multiple muscle groups and are very time efficient. For you need something that's going to get the job done so you can get out the gym and get right back to your life and handling everything you need. Doing isolation exercises like bicep curls are very fun to do, but if you don't have a lot of time to be in the gym all day, that's not going to be the best bang for your buck. This program is designed to fit any experience level in the gym, whether you're a beginner, an intermediate person, or advanced. If you are a beginner, I want you to make any modifications that you need to any of the exercises to fit your current skill level. For example, instead of doing push-ups with your legs straight, you could do push-ups with your knees on the ground. If that's still too tough, you could do push-ups to a wall. But find some variation that allows you to work hard and feel like you're getting something out of the workout. If you can't do any reps, that's too tough. Make it a little bit easier and you're going to feel better about that. If you're an intermediate person, I want you to be training for PRs every time you work out. So if you're used to doing an easier version, you're going to now step it up. Using that push-up example, if you're used to doing push-ups from your knees, you're going to your legs being straight. If you're used to doing half reps with your legs straight, you're not going to go all the way down. Every single workout, you're trying to improve something. You're going to do that consistently for 30 days straight. That's how you're going to get results. If you're an advanced lifter and you're doing this program, you probably have enough muscle mass already and your diet just sucks. You're giving all your focus to the nutrition side of this, and I want you to just keep pushing hard in the gym. Let's talk more about progressive overload and tracking your progress. If you want to be stronger and have more muscle, you have to consistently be pushing yourself harder in the gym. How do you know if you're doing more? You have to track it. Writing down your workouts by hand or using an app on your phone to track are two of the easiest ways that you can do this. Progressive overload is what we want to achieve in this 30-day Dad Bod Challenge. This means doing more weight, more reps, more sets, having better form, having more control, or having less rest periods. Doing one of those factors is going to lead to progressive overload. For those of you that like technology and want to be able to track things quickly from your phone, I have this program uploaded in the Trainerize app. Once you have access to that, you can log everything in there. I want to quickly show you how the Trainerize app works. This is a quick overview of the Trainerize app. From the home page, you'll be able to see what I want you to do on that day. You'll also be able to see your progress. You can scroll down. You can see things like your body weight. You can see how your progress has been going over time. Also from there, you could just click right on your workout. From there, you can see everything I want you to do on the workout, all the instructions, all your exercises, how many sets and reps I want you to do. You can click on a calendar to get a bigger view of what I want you to do for the whole week or for the whole month. You can also go to workouts, and then from there, you can see each individual workout and all the exercises and how much weight you used in the past so you know what you need to do to progressively overload. Your assignment for this lesson is decide if you want to use your phone and use the Trainerize app to log your workouts, or if you like to write your workouts out by hand and you're going to download the document that's going to be the workout program. Send me a message if you haven't already been granted access to the Trainerize app and you want to get on that. Want to know one of the biggest fitness myths? You build muscle by working out. Sounds good, but it's not true. You build muscle by recovering from working out. This section is about rest and recovery. Rest and recovery are equally as important as your training and your nutrition as far as reaching any fitness goal. During this 30-day challenge, I want you paying a high level of attention to your sleep habits. We want to be focusing on how much you're sleeping and what the quality of your sleep is. I want you to do that by using an app like the Sleep Cycle app to track your sleep. It will take a few days to get used to your sleep rhythm, but afterwards, it will give you a sleep score every single night so you know, are you getting quality sleep or very poor quality sleep. You'll learn cool things like how often you're waking up in the middle of the night. Are you coughing? Are you snoring? And it's going to tell you a lot of information that you probably don't know about yourself when you sleep. One of the coolest features on that is the alarm clock. With this alarm clock, it's going to be a 30-minute wake up window. And in that wake up window, it is going to wake you up when you are furthest away from deep sleep. When you wake up in a deep sleep, that's when you feel groggy. If you ever had a night where you slept 9-10 hours and you woke up and still felt tired, it's probably because you woke up in a deep sleep. On the flip side, you probably have had nights where you slept 3 hours and woke up and felt fine the rest of the day. That's when you woke up furthest away from deep sleep. So with this app, let's say the latest you can wake up in the morning to get to work on time is somewhere between 6:20 and 6:30 a.m. Most people are going to set their alarm for either 6:25 or 6:30 because they want to sleep as long as possible in the morning. But what if the best time for you to wake up was actually 6:07 a.m. because you were furthest away from deep sleep? So now, instead of waking up at 6:07, you have another 20 plus minutes of going further into deep sleep, and now you wake up and you feel terrible for the rest of the day. Now you need a bunch of coffee, and now your whole routine is messed up. What this app is going to do is senses that you are on the brink of waking up, and in that 30 minutes, it's going to set a soft alarm to wake you up. Now, when you wake up, you need to actually get up. Don't hit snooze a bunch of times and go back to sleep. We're changing your habits. But using that app, I can guarantee you, I use it personally, I recommend it to my clients. It is a game changer as far as making you feel better throughout the day. Use the Sleep Cycle app. It's going to be perfect for letting you know if you're recovering properly. Your assignment for this lesson is to download the Sleep Cycle app and start to use it. Now it's the moment you've been waiting for, the actual 30-day Dad Bod workout program. I want to explain how everything goes with this program, so pay attention, take notes, because this is the actual workout part. Some disclaimers first. If you have any injuries at all and you need to make adjustments to your workout program, feel free to do that. But when you make that swap, I want you to swap exercises that are similar. For example, if you have a bad knee or some knee injury and squats really hurts or brings like physical pain where you know you can't do it, I want you to swap for something else that works your legs where you can load it up pretty heavy. Something like a leg press. If you could do that, but you can't do a squat, make that swap. That's okay. What I don't want you to do is try to completely avoid working your legs because you say your knee hurts. So now instead of doing squats, I do bench press. That's not what we're doing here. If your shoulder hurts and you can't do some type of pressing, you're doing something else for the shoulders. If your elbow hurts and you can't do something for triceps, you're doing something else for triceps that doesn't hurt your elbow. This is how you want to make those swaps, and it's going to be a smart way to make sure you're still making progress over your whole body and not skipping the hard stuff just so you could be having an easy workout program. We're done doing that. We're not taking the easy way out for 30 days. I promise you it's better for you in the long run. This program is going to be 3 strength training days and 3 cardio days per week. So 6 days of working out total. Now, if you have something coming up in your schedule that you know ahead of time, you can swap out your rest day for when you are busy. So that way you can still get all 6 workouts done. But if it's better for you to work out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and have Friday off versus having Wednesday off, it's okay to do that. If you were to miss a workout, let's say you work out Monday, but you miss Tuesday, I don't want you to go backwards and now do Tuesday workout on Wednesday or do Tuesday's workout on Thursday, especially if you miss 2 workouts in a row. You're going to count all the missed workouts as your cardio day, but you're going to get all your strength training workouts done. I would love for you to do your cardio, but in regards to building muscle and losing body fat, doing your strength training days are going to be the best for you compared to doing your cardio days. Ideally, you don't miss any days. If you need to change your rest day and you're just missing 1 workout, make it a rest day. If you miss 2, you are dropping the cardio and you are going right according to plan where you left off in the schedule, right back with the weight training day. So now let's cover the workout program and go through all the exercises so you know what to do. All right, so this is your workout plan. You're going to have week 1, workout 1. What you'll see is the warm-up stuff. So you're going to be doing your lower body warm-ups, going into bodyweight squats. You're going to have 2 sets of 8 to 10 with leg curls. You're going to have leg extensions, 2 sets of 15 to 20. Leg press, 2 sets of 15 to 20. And reverse lunge, 2 sets of 8 to 10. Workout number 2 is your upper body. You're going to have your warm-up stuff. You're going to go into your core exercises, 2 sets of 10 to 20, cable rows, lat pull downs, dumbbell bench press, seated dumbbell shoulder press, easy bar curls, and rope push downs. What you want to do on this first week is establish what your goal weight is going to be for next week. So you're not trying to max out on this first week. The third workout of the week is going to be your full body. So again, you're going to have your warm-ups. You're going to go into supersets for this day. Kettlebell swings into farmer's walks. You're going to have goblet squats going into standing dumbbell shoulder press. You're going to have lunges going into push-ups. And then you're going to have dumbbell deadlifts going into dumbbell rows. You have the sets and the amount of reps that I want you to get for everything, and these will all be supersets. Going into week number 2, workout number 1, you will now increase the weight more than what you did last week. It's the exact same exercises, but you're also doing an additional set in addition to having more weight. Workout number 2 will again be the upper body. Same deal, you're going to have additional sets for everything, and you're trying to do more weight than what you did last time. And then following, like everything else, workout number 3 is going to be your full body. You will have an additional set for everything, and you're trying to do more weight than what you did last time. Once you get to this point in the program, you should start to feel some soreness, and that's okay. Going into week 3, now you will increase the weight even more while still maintaining the same amount of sets and reps that you did for everything. So your upper body workout, if you did 100 pounds on cable rows for 3 sets of 10 to 12, you'll try 110. And this is how you're going to progressively overload. Same deal with the full body. Try to increase the weight as much as you can while maintaining the amount of reps that I have listed. And for your final week, week number 4, this is when you're going to try to go as hard as possible, because now you have learned the proper form with everything. And you're in the best position to try to get PRs. So every single thing is going to be the same amount of sets and reps, but I want you to go hard. It is okay if you do not reach the amount of reps that I want in a set. That just proves that you're pushing yourself hard enough. Your assignment for this lesson is to start your workout program within the next 7 days. If you've gotten value out of this challenge so far, it would mean a lot to me if you could share this with a friend. I have confidence that you can do 30 days straight with this. Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.